All right, folks, you've seen superheroes in comics, movies, and that one weird dream where you could fly but forgot your pants. But what if I told you some real kids out there have powers that could make Marvel and DC do a double take? From setting things on fire with their minds to surviving insane voltages like a human light bulb, these kids redefine what's possible. So buckle up, and please like this video if you're ready to get on board. Let's get started. Emma Tablate, the girl who sets fire to your dreams and your house. All right, folks, picture this. It's 2011 in the Philippines. You wake up, grab a nice breakfast, step outside to enjoy a beautiful day, and boom! Your neighbor's house is suddenly engulfed in flames, like Michael Bay decided to shoot an explosion scene right in your front yard. And the craziest part, no lighters, no gasoline, no one shouting, "Fire in the hole!" Just a 3-year-old girl standing there, squinting like she's trying to solve a kindergarten-level algebra problem. Meet Emma Tablate, the real-life fire starter. Yeah, like the 1984 movie with baby Drew Barrymore, back when she was hotter than her career is now. Emma's got pyrokinesis, which, in layman's terms, means she can make your gas bill look like a joke. At 3 years old, Emma discovered her gift in the most dramatic way possible. Whenever she got stressed, things would spontaneously combust. And, I mean, what stresses out a 3-year-old? No iPad? Running out of snacks? Mom saying it's nap time? But instead of throwing a tantrum, Emma just set things on fire. Boom, her first career arson. Scientists got involved, watched her light up entire rooms with her mind, and I assume they called the fire department before publishing their findings. Fast forward to today, Emma is 17. That means she's old enough to get a driver's license, which means she can now not only set your car on fire with her mind, but also legally drive over to your house and do it in person. So, if you're in the Philippines and notice an unexpected rise in temperature, don't blame climate change. Just check if a teenage girl with a bad mood is scrolling through TikTok nearby. Tiantian, the human BBQ grill. All right, folks, picture this. It's a scorching hot day, 100 degrees Fahrenheit outside. You're sweating like a popsicle in the sun, questioning your life choices, and wondering if you've somehow been transported to Satan's personal sauna. And then, boom, you turn your head and see this Chinese kid just chilling next to an open flame like it's a mild spring afternoon. Meet Tiantian, the boy who can withstand extreme heat like it's no big deal. Honestly, I quite want this boy to meet the girl I just mentioned earlier. Born in 2005, which makes him 19 now, but don't expect him to be excited about drinking age. Nah, he's more into casually standing next to raging fires without breaking a sweat. Meanwhile, the rest of us still flinch when touching a hot pizza box. If you've ever watched cartoons where characters get roasted but just brush off the flames like it's nothing, yeah, that's Tiantian in real life. This kid can take heat like an overcooked Thanksgiving turkey. Scientists are baffled. They can send robots to Mars, but still can't explain how this dude isn't walking around medium rare. Honestly, if one day you see him roasting marshmallows with his bare hands, don't even question it. In a world where superheroes exist, aliens might be real, and Elon Musk keeps trying to colonize space, a heat-proof teenager is just another Tuesday. Hasnaa, the girl who cried diamonds, but still can't afford a Gucci bag. All right, picture this. You're ugly crying over your ex, your best friend pats your back and says, "Come on, crying won't get you anywhere." And then, boom, Hasnaa Musulmani enters the chat, crying out actual freaking crystals. Welcome to Lebanon, home of a girl who basically turns her teardrops into jewels. Every single day, Hasnaa sheds 7 to 8 solid crystals, which is impressive, but unfortunately not enough to start a jewelry empire. Her story begins one morning when she wakes up with sharp pain in her eye and her parents rush her to the hospital. Doctors take a look and, surprise, they pull out tiny shards of glass. Sounds like an episode of Grey's Anatomy, but nope, this is real life. The next day, same thing. More pain, more hospital visits, and yep, more glass. At this point, even the doctors were like, "What kind of sorcery is this?" The first theory? Her dad accidentally broke a glass near her and the shard somehow got into her eye. Makes sense, right? Sure, except why is she still producing them? What's next? Is she just gonna start sneezing diamonds? If that's the case, Disney better sign her up for Frozen 3, Elsa's Crystal Tears. Science still has no clue what's happening here. But honestly, science also doesn't understand why my Wi-Fi gets worse the moment I try to stream something in HD. So, whatever. The only thing we do know is that if Hasnaa hones this skill, she could either become the world's top diamond supplier, or at least get a sweet endorsement deal from Ray-Ban. Nong Yousui, the cat-eyed kid. All right, folks, if you've ever looked at a cat and thought, man, I wish I could see in the dark like that, congratulations, you now have competition. Nong Yousui. Born in China in 2000, this kid has glowing green eyes that let him see in complete darkness like it's broad daylight. Yep, while we're all fumbling around at night, stubbing our toes on Legos, Nong is casually reading a book in pitch black, like it's no big deal. If that's not a superpower, I don't know what is. The story goes that one day, his teacher noticed Nong could finish his work even after the lights went out. Instead of assuming Nong had some freaky good memory or was just an expert at copying homework, the teacher decided to test him. They locked him in a dark room, totally not creepy by the way, and boom, Nong could read perfectly fine. His eyes didn't just glow, they adapted to darkness like a feline ninja. The kicker? His parents both have jet black eyes, as Asian as it gets. There's no history of green eyes in his family. So we have two possible explanations. One, Nong is a human-cat hybrid, or two, he's an undercover Kryptonian sent to Earth to save humanity from stepping on Legos at night. Either way, imagine playing hide and seek in the dark with this kid. You wouldn't find him, but he'd see everything. Gabby Gingras, the superhero who feels no pain, but her parents definitely do. All right, listen up. If you think you're the kid who has the highest pain tolerance in the block, then you clearly haven't met Gabby Gingras. Born in 2001 in Minnesota, USA, this girl has a superpower so insane it makes Wolverine jealous. She feels absolutely no pain. That's right. You could pinch her, kick her, or even throw a frying pan at her head and nothing. No screaming, no crying, no throwing the pan back at you. Sounds awesome, right? Wrong. Because if you can't feel pain, you also can't tell when you're hurt. From a young age, Gabby had many, wait, I broke a bone? Moments. She chewed on her own fingers until doctors had to remove her baby teeth just to keep her from injuring herself. Oh, and here's a fact. She lost vision in one eye because she rubbed it too hard without realizing. Her parents, they probably suffer the most. Imagine raising a child where you have to baby-proof everything, because if you blink for too long, she might accidentally twist her own arm the wrong way. Raising an invincible child sounds fun, until it turns into a real-life horror movie for parents. So, what's the lesson here? If you can feel pain, be grateful. It means you're intact and not walking around with a displaced finger that you didn't even notice. Giuliano Stroe, the kid who made bodybuilders cry. All right, gym bros, gather around. Today's story is about Giuliano Stroe, a kid who probably started lifting weights before he even learned how to walk. Born in 2004 in Italy, this little guy wasn't just any kid. He was the kind of kid who made grown men question their life choices, while you were still struggling with push-ups to impress your crush. In 2009, Giuliano set a Guinness World Record for the fastest 10-meter hand walk, while holding a ball between his legs. I don't know about you, but I can't even walk straight while holding a cup of coffee. Then in 2010, he broke the world record for 90-degree push-ups. You know, the kind where your feet never touch the ground. He did 12 reps at first, then casually smashed his own record with 20 reps. Have you ever done a push-up in midair? Yeah, me neither, and I plan to keep it that way. But wait, there's more. This kid held the human flag pose for 1 minute and 32 seconds, did 31 human flag pull-ups, and cranked out 41 pull-ups like it was nothing. Meanwhile, I'm only good at pulling the blanket over my head every morning. So if you've been skipping the gym, just remember, a 5-year-old was once stronger than you are now. As for me, yeah, I'm still not working out. I love my belly fat. It gives me an excuse not to do crazy stuff like zero gravity push-ups. Jinlong, another competitor of Gym Bros. Ah, yes, another kid can make Gym Bros blush. If you think you're strong because you just carried a 10-kilogram bag of rice from the grocery store, I've got bad news for you. Jinlong did that before he even finished elementary school. Born in 2005 in China, Jinlong wasn't your average kid. While you were struggling to pull a rubber band, this dude was out here pulling a 1.85-ton valve. Yes, a van, not a toy truck, not a Hot Wheels car, an actual, grown-up, I'll cut you off in traffic kind of van. Oh, and if that wasn't enough, he could carry a full-grown adult on his back without breaking a sweat. Meanwhile, if someone jumps on my back, my spine immediately files for early retirement. Imagine Yang in school when the teacher assigns an essay. Write about your hero. That kid probably just wrote, "It's me." So yeah, next time you think you're strong, just remember, there's a kid out there who was dragging cars when he was 7. And me? I'm still here using my only real strength, talking nonsense. Ivan Storzkovic, the kid who made Magneto jealous. All right, next we're talking about a kid who could make Magneto weep with envy. Ivan Storzkovic, aka the Human Magnet. Now, I don't know exactly when or where he was born, but I bet his family spent a fortune on fridge magnets just to see if they'd stick to him. And guess what? They did. Ivan can attract up to 25 kilograms of metal to his body without glue, magic, or Doctor Strange power. That means if you drop your car keys near him, don't worry. They'll land on his chest before they hit the ground. I have no idea how his parents feel about this, but I bet they never need a phone holder in the car. Just slap at the phone on his chest. Problem solved. Need a place to store your kitchen utensils? Bam! Stick them to his back. So, yeah, if you ever thought you were special, just remember there's a kid out there who is literally a human magnet, while I'm still bending over to pick up my fork every time I drop it. Ramses Sanguino, the kid who knows what you're thinking, so stop thinking weird stuff. All right, this is a story of a kid that Professor X would sell his wheelchair to recruit. Ramses Sanguino, the girl who can read your mind without even asking. Born in 2009 in the USA, Ramses isn't just a mind reader. She also solves math problems faster than your overpriced graphing calculator and speaks multiple languages. Basically, she's Google Translate if Google Translate had a PhD. And guess what? No school is smart enough for her, so her mom had to homeschool her. And now I'm nervous, because if Ramses is reading my thoughts right now, all I want to say is, sorry kid, my brain is just full of geek thinking and bad action movies. Nothing interesting here. But imagine if your neighbor's kid had Ramses' powers. You'd never be able to sneak cookies at night because they'd know instantly. Got a secret crush? They'd expose you before you even said hi. In conclusion, Ramses is a real-life superhero. I just hope she uses her powers for good, and not to figure out that I just inhaled an entire bag of Doritos 5 minutes ago. Alani dos Santos, the girl who touches you, and you feel better? All right, folks, I just invited here someone who could make even Doctor Strange jealous. Alani dos Santos from São Gonçalo, Brazil. She's got a superpower that's basically part family doctor, part Amazonian shaman. She heals people by touching them. It all started when Alani was just a kid, and people noticed that her hands had some kind of magical feel-good effect on the sick. You know, like when your mom rubs your forehead when you have a fever, except your mom didn't make the news. But Alani did. Of course, science hasn't exactly stamped its approval on this, but does that really matter? People believe in all kinds of things, from UFOs to the idea that pouring Coke on a battery will charge your phone. Don't try it, I'm not responsible. Bottom line, if Alani's power is real, I just hope she can cure my late night snack addiction, because at this point, my stomach looks like I'm carrying a litter of burritos. And that, folks, wraps up our journey through real-life superhero kids. Basically the X-Men, but without the cool costumes or, legal disclaimers from Marvel. But hey, don't worry. At least you still have Wi-Fi and pizza delivery. Please like and subscribe if you find this video interesting. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go find my own superpower. Maybe eating an entire pizza without regrets counts?